Hello, YouTube. My name is Will, and today I will be talking about my spiritual awakening experience and how it changed my life for the better. All right, let's get straight on into it. What is a spiritual awakening? Most people are not familiar with that term. Most people, when they hear a term like that, they think about a hippie, somebody that's doing shrooms and they floating on cloud nine or psychedelics, or they think about a Buddhist monk and he's in the woods. He's somewhere on the magic carpet, levitating in the air, doing tricks or some shit. I don't know. But both cases, that could be what it is to them. But a spiritual awakening is basically a call to your true self, a call to your conscience. And it's a situation where you're being transferred from living in your ego to your soul. You're being called from going from your ego to your true soul to your soul's purpose. That's a good definition right there. We're gonna leave it at that. So a little bit about me. Growing up, spirituality was never really I didn't know I was into spirituality, but I really was. I just didn't know it. Like growing up, I was very empathic. I can read people emotions. I can pick up on people's energies and emotions. Very empathic. I was very intuitive. I could see things before they happened, and I had visions. I could literally see things before they happened. It's creepy, I know, weird as hell. Um, I was into tarot cards, law of attraction, all that kind of stuff. Quantum physics. There was always things that I loved talking about, and I was fantasizing about it. But liking things like that and being in an environment but that wasn't really the norm. It's kind of like it was kind of awkward at times. See, growing up, my family they're kind of Christian, but they not really strict about it. It's just like they believe in the Bible God, but they're not really church goers. They're not really strict about it. It was basically they was the type of family that went to church on Easter, Christmas, and all the holidays, shit like that. So when I became grown, like 18, like 19 to 21, I got into the church. At that time, living in Chicago, it was scary because at the time, all of my friends or people I went to school with, they started dying. I'm seeing guys die at 18, 19, 20. Guys get life sentences at 19 years old. So I'm at a situation where I'm at a rock and a hard place. I didn't want to do what they was doing. I tried to do what they was doing. That wasn't for me. And I ended up going to church. So in that regard, it served a purpose. At that point of my life, it really did serve a purpose. But every now and then, I will always have this battle back and forth within myself because here I am, knowing about the law of attraction, how thoughts will create reality. The pastor in church was always preaching that this is witchcraft. Here I am being very intuitive. Like I was so intuitive, I can go into the church and hear my pastor preach it. It got to the point I was so intuitive. When he preached, I knew his sermon right when he got started. I knew where he was going, what chapter he was going. I was that damn. It was weird. Like, it was like psychic shit. I'm like, I never could explain that. People look at you weird when you try to explain that. Like, this guy's crazy. Then they'll say, "Oh, it's the Holy Spirit." But then at the same time, my intuition would tell me things about them. Don't trust them, don't deal with them. But then they'd be like, "Oh, that's Satan talking." So we disregard that. But all the good stuff you get, we work with that. Like, kind of bullshit. It was always like this pulling and tugging. It was always like this battle I had to fight within myself. So I was in church in my 20s. Fast forward to like I left. I had moved. I changed states. I had left Chicago, went to somewhere else to live. And at the time, I was in this relationship. I was in this. I ended up in this narcissistic relationship. One of this. It started off like some shit, like out of a goddamn movie. It was like love at first sight. It was like some Cinderella type of shit. But that shit turned. That was one of the most manipulative, narcissist type of shit I ever went through. Now, the reason why I'm bringing a lot of this up because I'm going somewhere. Just work with me. And this relationship was one of them things where that was my first real relationship, and this person was mad. That was the first time I ever experienced a narcissistic relationship, and nobody knew what that was. I never knew like how to deal with this shit, how to heal from it. It was just like, what the hell attracted me to that? What the fuck was that experience? What the fuck? Like, how the fuck did I attract that? Like, what the fuck? And at the time when I was going through that, that narcissist shit, that's all over the place. But at the time when nobody talking about it. So then I got out of that, ended the relationship. It took years to end this shit, being stalked, all kind of crazy shit. I come across this church. At the time, I was very fucking vulnerable, to the point to where I was looking for anything to help me overcome that shit. I wanted to overcome that relationship really, really bad. So I found it was like in COVID, right around quarantine. I found this little ministry. And at the time, he was saying some real shit. But at the time, I was vulnerable, very fearful, unsure about who I truly was. So a lot of the things this pastor was saying, it resonated at the moment. It resonated. Then it was NFL plus. It was NFL players joined it and shit. I'm like, oh, okay. So it was like a little brotherhood. I said, okay, that's what I need. I can rock with this. I ended up going into that. In the beginning, the first year, it was cool. And then it was like anybody that's familiar with narcissistic, being in a narcissist relationship, it's like the beginning. They love bomb you. They make you feel like you're on top of the world. And then they go down to the devaluing stage. They start just fucking with you and treating you like shit. They just start going downhill. And when it happens, because it's like, here I am, I just got treated like fucking royalty, and you're not really paying attention because you focusing on all the good they just showed you. You're not really thinking like, damn, these motherfuckers crazy because you've been brainwashed. At that point, you're brainwashed because they did all the good shit to you. Just all you care about is you want that what you saw in the beginning. So it started going downhill. Things started not making no sense, and I started realizing like, wait a minute, this the same shit I was dealing with in this narcissist relationship. But once again, I'm in this battle. Same shit. Oh, this is the devil talking to you. God said your heart is evil and wicked, and who should know it? All that bullshit. But then I remember I just like my intuition started letting me know like get away from them. It's time to go. But me, I clung to it. But I started having these moments where it was one morning I woke up and I just like started questioning like this shit is something that is missing. Like this is not resonating. Like what am I missing? And at the time when I started realizing it, I was in a doomsday cult. This was a real cult. I don't care what you say. Oh, that was a fucking cult. They was manipulative, very fucking. They was gaslighters, very strict. Couldn't eat certain shit. Every fucking thing you did was evil. You couldn't list birthdays was evil. Your intuition was evil. Horoscopes was evil. Pork was evil. Every damn thing you did. You couldn't watch certain TV shows. I'm like, this shit here. Once again, here I am, very intuitive. I'm drawn to. I know the law of attraction work. Like that's evil now. Like this shit ain't making no sense to me. So I started questioning things. At the time, I was very depressed. I didn't like the house I lived in, the neighborhood. I was very depressed. So I started to question my reality. And the moment I started, I just like my intuition just knew like I am somewhere I don't belong. I don't resonate with this shit. I don't know how I'm gonna get myself out of this shit. The moment I started going that route, my life fell apart. The very that day after I had that epiphany, my intuition was calling to me like, "Hey, I lost my place that same fucking day. I don't know, it just happened. Boom. Like what the fuck? Mind you, I paid my rent on time, money in the bank. I very good with I took care of my finances. I don't miss bills. I lose my shit. Then on top of that, the court I was in, it was around it was a high feast day. So anybody familiar with the Hebrew Israelite, that it was around the feast time, Feast of Tabernacles. And they called me. I'm trying to tell my so-called brothers, like, hey, I'm homeless. I lost my shit. I lost everything. These people didn't give a flying fuck about what I was dealing with. All they cared about was, are you coming to this feast? I'm like, I can't come. I'm homeless. I ain't got nowhere to go. I had to take all my shit, put it in the storage, go to a hotel. You asking me to come to a damn feast, and I'm like, bruh, I don't even know where the fuck I'm gonna be living next week. And they didn't care. It was like either you coming to this feast or fuck you, and that's what it was. They just ghosted me. Just like, hey, so I tried to. I had people that was friends. I was friends with in the group. I tried to reach out to them. They, it was like they died. I was like, I was left to die. All I had was the people that lived in my household with me, and all my so-called friends. They just skedaddled. I tried to call people. It was like like what the fuck? Like that was the weirdest thing I've experienced. Now I'm bringing this up. So fast forward, I'm living at a homeless shelter. This shit felt like fucking prison. This shit felt like prison. You could, hey, I had to go by the rules, forced to do their religious shit, being told what to do. You know how that shelter shit go. In that time, everything that wasn't me, life stripped it away from me. And in that homeless situation, shelter situation, I was going through a dark night of the soul. My EA, I was, and during that time, it was like the universe forced me to heal. And in that time, I had to learn how I did. First, I was wondering, like, what the hell did I go through? And I always found myself like, okay, I'm like, I went through one narcissist relationship. I went through another. What is causing? I start asking questions. Because at first, you come as a victim, but I start asking questions. What is it in me that is causing me to attract that shit to me? And that's when the spiritual awakening happened. The cult, me being in the cult, me losing my home, that was the catalyst for my spiritual awakening. And that was one of the greatest things that ever could have happened to me. And those people, the ex-girlfriend and the cult and the leaders of that cult situation, those people weren't my enemies at all. Those people was basically the messenger. See, what most people don't understand, when you keep attracting the same things in your relationship, what often happens, when you keep attracting the same old people, the same old things, because if you struggle, if you're a people pleaser and you don't deal with the problem, life is going to send you people that's going to force that out of you. So if you very giving and people pleasing like I was a people pleaser, giving up my time, money. I was always being drained by that, not being able to say no. I'm not doing this. I don't care what I look like. And at the time, life was sending me that reflection. And those people, they were sent in my life not to it was sent to my life to show to be the messenger. They was in my life to show me that hey, you have a wound you gotta heal, and I had to learn from the lesson. Those people were sent to my life to get me to heal from that situation, and it's been a journey. It took me years to heal from that, but it really changed me. It changed me in ways I had, at the time I had to let go of things that I wasn't ready to, but I needed to. And I was able to do a lot of shadow work. And man, if shadow work, I'm gonna make a video about that. But shadow work is one of those things that it don't matter what belief system you in, Christian, Buddha, Muslim, shadow work could benefit anybody. And one thing about shadow work, it forces you to look at things about yourself that you ignore, that you put under the rug. See, a lot of that time, if I wouldn't have went through that experience, I would have never actually healed because I was looking at things that there was a lot of things that was going on in my life that I was refusing to look at. And for the first time in my life, by me being homeless, life stripped me away from everything. That was the first time in my life I was forced to look at the things about myself that I was stubborn to look at. So that was my journey. That was my spiritual awakening. And my life ain't been the same since. My life ain't been the same since. And when it comes to the whole other thing, my true I was afraid to be my real self. And at that time I had to learn how to be myself, hey, and not worry about who judged me. Hey, if you like weird belief, if you have a weird belief system, it's okay. If they leave you because of that, fuck them. But that was the other. Hey, I started getting into spirituality, and this was one of them things I didn't go looking for. Here I am. I was hurt. All of my friends that I ever known left me to die. So it was my phone didn't ring, and I was trying to find anything to heal from it. And I ended up getting into spirituality. I started meditating. I started getting into self help content on YouTube, and it was a journey, man. It was something that I really needed. And if it wasn't for that experience, I would have never healed that side of myself. Now I can be my real authentic self. And like I say, man, instead of being a victim, if you're attracting certain patterns in your life, actually sit down and do some shadow work. Ask yourself, why am I, why am I attracting these kind of people in my life? If you're a woman and you attract abusive boyfriends, sit down and ask yourself why you're attracting that. And actually be real. If you're a man, you attract people that's evil. Same vice versa, women that's evil to you. Sit down and ask yourself, why am I doing? Well, why is this happening to me? And we got to stop being victims. We got to look at parts of ourselves that's uncomfortable and actually deal with your shit. Whatever comes up, out it's going to be uncomfortable. Healing is ugly. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be lonely. It's going to be some dark days, but you will make it at the end of the tunnel. And and through this process, if you're struggling to be your true authentic self, be you. Shit, don't let nobody hold you down. My biggest mistake with me is that I was the reason why I bought the religious shit up when I was a child because it was always where it was like I was living somebody else's life. I wasn't even living my own life. I was a people pleaser. I was overgiving, not having no damn boundaries, and I was just and due to me not being my real self, I'm letting all this garbage and shit in me. And the shadow work healed me from that. All right, it's been real. Thank you guys for listening to my story. I will provide more updates and do more videos about this type of content. But thank y'all. Namaste.